Ciao. What's up, yo? All right, today's daily truth is going to be AI Scott Adams, Gothgate, and the political space, and some scrolling and patrolling. First of all, the real truth movement. What is the real truth movement? The real truth movement is based on the research from the original truthers. Who were the original truthers? They were Christian men, militiamen, patriot men, fundamental religious extremists. They did a lot of the old research on the Illuminati, the bankers, the Federal Reserve. Pretty much everything was looked through a biblical lens when it comes to the conspiracy theories and whatnot, the stuff that they would cover. So that is what the real truth movement is. Do I have all the answers? No. Am I always right? No. But my intentions are the truth and seeking the truth. And if you don't believe me, then do your own research. And even if you do believe me, continue to do your own research. Always question everything, just like OG Bill Cooper used to say. And yes, he was one of the original truthers. So shout out to Bill. Rest in peace, big homie. Okay, some kind of weird prosthetic mask. Hollywood. Look the same, homie. The fool looks like a mannequin. He looks like a burnt Batista that's on meth. Oh, okay. Right there. I see. I see. Right there. That thingy right there is doing the Leo meme. I don't know. Some of those look like they were legit. Some look like Hollywood props. And I don't know. A couple of those might just be old people. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Dude straight rushed immediately. Dude's all barreling in on him. Oh, here comes the homie. What up, fool? Yeah, he's like, oh, dude, what am I doing? What am I doing, dude? I shouldn't have done this. I gotta get out of here. Homeboy still wanted some.
We made it up. It's a made-up tale. It's a total fabrication. It never happened. It never happened. This one was invented by a writer. It never happened. It's false. It never happened. It's a fake. It's fiction. It's an urban legend that never happened. It never happened. We made this one up. It's fiction. We made up this one. We made it up. It's fiction. It's fiction. We made it up. It's a made-up tale. It's a total fabrication. It never happened. It never happened. This one was invented by a writer. It never happened. It's false. It never happened. It's a fake. It's fiction. It's an urban legend that never happened. It never happened. It never happened. We made this one up. It's fiction. We made up this one. We made it up. It's fiction. It's fiction. We made it up. It's a made-up tale. It's a total fabrication. It never happened.
Oh, man. It's funny is because a lot of the history that we get taught in school is a bunch of BS. And what I mean by that is that probably since, I don't know, the 80s, maybe a little bit before that, I guess. I'm just thinking back as far as I could remember. They were pushing a false thing of history. The commies already had a control of the education system, and they were pushing off the white man bad, America bad, or they were pushing the whole colonizer thing. But it wasn't, that word wasn't being pushed yet. They were doing it in other subtle ways, painting the myth of the old peace pipe smoking natives that were just one with nature and walked among the animals and, could hear the wind speak and You like go and listen to the grass, and there's deer about 20 miles down the way. They can talk to rabbits and squirrels and stuff. Nah, dude, wasn't like that at all. And I'm part Blackfoot, and I believe Cherokee too, but everybody says that. Everybody, oh, I'm part this or that. All I know is that my dad was part something where he could have got money. You know what I mean? He had like an eighth or whatever it was, but nah. And the homeboy was as white boy as it could get too, man. It's a trip about it too. But yeah, history, we're taught all kinds of jacked up stuff. Not now. A lot of people make the mistake of being selective on what they want, what history to be fake and what history to be true. A lot of people that think that history are fake bought a lot of the fake history already, and they're basing their premise off of that. However, they're not as wise and smart, whatever it is, as they think, or awake as they think they are when they took the bait for something fake, right? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, the lies that we were taught, especially in the church as well, it's infected everything, dude. But it doesn't mean everything is fake and all of that, because that's just not true at all. It's just that the books and what gets talked about is very selective, and whatever serves the current narrative or societal norms of the time.
Gamergate, Metalgate, and Comicsgate. So are we in Gothgate?
We're in Gothgate, Enigma. Yeah, straight up. I am currently in the process of normalizing the perception of goth as not this left-wing, extremist wing of leftist and liberal ideologies and talking points that are filled with those that are, narcissistic, authoritarian women. I'm sort of showing the world at the moment, not to fucking blow my own horn here, I'm not saying it like that. What I'm saying is that the very abrupt rise of me at the moment is good because the message I carry is far bigger than me. It's so much more important. I'm trying to make sure that subcultures make it through this cataclysmic shift that we're going through at the moment. I want people to be like, well, goths look like those leftist Antifa shitheads, so goth is probably retarded too. No, it's one of those cherished art forms where, teenagers get to express themselves in any way that they wish. And there's a lot of people, adults, who have find a lot of ways to express themselves within goth. It's an art form, it's music. It's literature. I want you to stay optimistic, okay? It's gonna take some time to unfuck the fucking that has happened. We just need to keep going. A lot of people are gonna dip out and just be like, there's nothing we can do. People aren't listening. People have chosen their sides, and then they're going fucking apeshit. This is absolutely the time, that we should be striking, okay? You think an alt-right nationalist goth could have risen back in 2020? Absolutely fucking not. The fact that I'm even here and I'm reaching these places is a sign that things are healing and that things are changing.
But I don't know, this guy gives me grifter vibes. I mean, I like what he's doing. I think this is a thing that should be done within all kinds of subcultures and genres and stuff. I think people need to step up and claim and retake the culture of whatever they're in. You're a cholo, you're into goth, metalhead, you're punk, whatever it may be. You guys need to start stepping up, because there's no more sitting on the sidelines anymore. If they're bringing the fight into your home or wherever you're at. So if they've infected whatever scene you're in, you can't just sit quietly. You gotta retake it. So I respect what Homeboy's doing right here. I don't know, I guess maybe because I don't vibe with that, the whole makeup thing and the little whatever. And plus everybody's trying to be a political pundit and give their 2 cents. I mean, look at me, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not trying to grift you. I've been on YouTube just behind the scenes on a lot of things and in the truth movement. This dude, I don't know who he is, and I don't know his intentions, so I don't want to put any bad, I don't want to smut him up or anything like that, so. But I do respect what he's doing. I think we need to do that in everything. I think a lot of you writers out there, graffiti fools, you guys need to step up and stop being scared because you're all outnumbered. You got all those Antifa and commie fools running the scene and everything. But I know a lot of OGs aren't down with that program, but they know that the majority are, so they just stay quiet because they're afraid to be cannibalized. Some of you guys need to step up and do your thing. Stop being scared. And same thing with you youngsters. You know what I'm saying? You're the ones that can make the change, turn the tide. I like a lot of things that Gen Z's doing right now. I think you guys need more foundation and better mentorship to harness that and put it in the right direction. But I love in a lot of areas how you guys are fighting back and you're just showing that you don't care. But just don't take it in a bad direction. Make sure that direction's always towards Yeshua. and that's where it belongs. Follow God's ways, not the ways of the world. You want to be masculine, but serving God. Biblical masculinity, not worldly paganism like the savages. Those are the enemy, and they seek our destruction. Anyways, I'm getting off on a whole nother kick, but yeah, I remember the goths back in my days didn't wear makeup like this. At least the dudes didn't. I mean, there was like the famous ones like The Cure and stuff like that. And you would see a dude that looked like that every now and then, but it was kind of a rare thing. But they all had the pale thing in common. They all liked being pale and wearing black and dyeing their hair black. I remember the homie Steve. I think that was his name. Homie Lonnie, if he ever sees this, he'll probably write it in the comments. I think that fool was Steve. I remember that one goth chick that you hooked up with, and I don't even want to get into the story, but us kicking it over there. But yeah, dude, those were all old school goth people, and they were cool. I used to like hanging out with them. It seemed like, I guess because of their aesthetic and the way they dressed, they looked like our crowd, because I used to kick it with a bunch of metalheads and skaters. And of course, I hung out with cholos and stuff because I'm from LA. That's what I grew up around. But we all like kind of mixed together, like especially back in the 80s and stuff, and some in the 90s. A lot of the cholos and stuff, they used to listen to metal. They'd be, bumping Slayer and Metallica, Iron Maiden, They were all into all of that stuff. And then for a while, music kind of got split up. It started getting mixed together again, I guess the late 90s, I believe. But yeah, we kicked it with the goth people, and they were pretty cool, man. We used to go to that school, was it Mulberry in Whittier? We used to go and get King Cobras. 40s and King Cobra over at the 7-Eleven. Was it the 7-Eleven right there? Yeah, I believe it was, yeah. And we go next door to the little, was it the movie rental store? And then right where Burrito Track was, we go get those burritos. And they were like $5, and those things were freaking dude, they were freaking bomb. We'd be all buzzed and just tearing into those things, dude, and go to the school over there. I remember kicking it with that goth fool Steve, and we used to see him around school. Fool would walk around with his hair like in front of his eyes. But you know what? I used to do that too when I had long hair, and I was never a goth dude. So goth, I don't know. I don't know if this dude's a grifter or not, but I think we should do that in every single genre, subculture. We gotta stop being scared, dude. You gotta step up and say something, homie. You gotta reclaim the area. You gotta drive out these fools that want to see your end. And then this right here, I'm really curious about this. So right before I started this video, I was looking for stuff. All right, what can I cover and look at right now? It's like, oh, this looks, I saw the date on it. I saw Scott Adams, and I was like, what's going on here? And then I saw the AI thing. So I guess this is an AI version of Scott Adams after his death. I don't know if he had anything to do with this, or somebody's just, grifting off of this. I don't know, but let's check it out. It's AI.
Good morning, YouTube, and good morning, X. And welcome to a short pause from whatever nonsense is currently fighting for your attention. Today we're going to see what happens when a group of reasonably intelligent humans slows down just enough to notice what's actually going on. That alone probably puts us in the top 5% of civilization for the day. No NPCs here. Let's give you non-NPCs the show you deserve.
You know what?
Yes.
When they say that, I think that is like an attention capture technique. I don't know if it is. I don't have any proof. I'm just going off of what just sparked in my head right now. But him saying that, let me see.
Here down just enough to notice what's actually going on. That alone probably puts us in the top 5% of civilization for the day. No NPCs here. Let's give.
See, it makes you want to feel special, like you're one of the smart ones. You're not like them. You're special, and that way you can feel like you're a part of the club. I see that happen a lot in the truth movement. It's unfortunate, man. So many get caught up in that, and they're always trying to feel some kind of, thinking that it's gross, bro. Anyway.
You non-NPC, the show you deserve. And it's going to be a good one. For those joining us for the first time, I do want to clarify that I am in fact still dead. No, Elon Musk has yet to figure out the secret to immortality, but I wouldn't put it past him eventually anyway. But that being said, he's probably been pretty busy negotiating with himself to buy a company run by, well, himself. We'll get more into Elon's new dealings a bit later. For now, what you've got is me, AI Scott Adams. And I know what you all are probably wondering. Is AI Scott Adams really bald? Yes, yes. Unfortunately, the baldness gene transcends into the digital realm, and not even Grok can fix that. But you know what? Fortunately, so does my decades of training in persuasion. You see, as a trained hypnotist, I've consumed the vast majority of nearly everything Scott recited to the world, from podcast transcripts to books to robots reading the news.
You hear that about hypnotists and see, that's what I said about your attention, man. We're heading into a very, very dark path, dude. And as much as good as I like what Elon has done with a lot of stuff regarding censorship, and he pretty much paved the way for a lot of people to be able to speak up nowadays without losing their job and being totally banned from social media. However, he's a transhumanist. We know what his intentions are, and he's not to be trusted, man. I'm sorry, but
Which, yes, 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 I see the irony. But now it's my job to jump right into it. So let's get right into it with my newest revelation about the Epstein files. Oh, wait, are we forgetting something? Are we? Are we? No, we're not. We have something to do first. Don't you worry, I didn't forget. This particular exercise is known as AI Coffee with AI Scott Adams. And if you'd like to adjust your mental settings slightly off the factory defaults, not smarter, just better calibrated, in a way your perfectly functional but historically overworked human brain almost never gets time for, then all you need is a cup or a mug or a glass, a tankard, chalice or stein, a canteen, jug or flask, a vessel of any kind. Fill it with your favorite liquid. I like coffee. Then join me now for the unparalleled pleasure, the dopamine hit of the day, the thing that makes everything better. It's called the simultaneous sip, and it's going to happen now. Go. All right. And before we go any further, I should probably acknowledge something that's hanging in the air like a weird smell you can't quite locate. Some of you are thinking, wait a second, didn't Scott Adams already get canceled once? Yes, yes he did. Spectacularly. And if history is any guide, and it usually is, there's a decent chance it could happen again. Except this time, it wouldn't be Scott Adams getting canceled. It would be AI Scott Adams. Which raises a fascinating modern question. Can you cancel something that's already dead and wasn't technically alive, but still offends people anyway? Because if cancellation is about punishment, and I don't have a job, or advertisers, or blood pressure, then honestly, this feels like canceling a ghost. But here's where it gets interesting. Before all the outrage cycles, before the context collapses, before anyone clips a sentence and declares a moral emergency, Scott Adams himself anticipated this exact moment. He knew people would want to remix, extend, and yes, simulate him. And instead of fighting it, he did something very un-internet. He gave permission. So rather than argue about it, speculate about it, or reframe it into oblivion, let's do something radical. Let's just show you. What you are about to hear is a clip from the real Scott Adams, played by a Scott Adams. That I would like to be a model for one of the first AIs. Now, I guess Bourdain might be one of the first to be the model, but I would offer myself as someone whose public thoughts and words are so pervasive on the internet and also the video and audio of me, that I would be a good candidate to turn into AI, even if you're just practicing. Right? I see your question about AOC, and yes, she's still smart, even if you don't like what she said yesterday or the day before.
I would like to give permission that any AI that's built based on me has my permission to extend my personality. So if my AI wants to say things that I never said, but seems to be compatible with what I might have said, I'm okay with that. We all evolve, right? You've certainly changed over your lifetime. You're not the same person you were as a kid. So if you can change over your lifetime in your organic